Nestled deep within the tranquil hills of Nepal, there exists a village so peaceful that it feels like a world apart, untouched by the noise and distractions of modern life. The village is surrounded by dense, lush greenery, ancient trees with thick canopies, vibrant flora that bursts with color, and winding paths lined with wildflowers. The air is crisp and fresh, carrying with it the gentle sounds of nature, the rustling of leaves, the distant call of birds, and the soft murmur of a nearby stream. Amidst this serene landscape, there stands a modest wooden hut, perched high on a hill that overlooks the entire village. This humble abode belongs to Ravi, a simple Buddhist man who has chosen a life of quiet reflection and simplicity. From his vantage point, the view is nothing short of breathtaking. The village below, with its thatched roofs and winding paths, is framed by the towering peaks of the mountains, their snow-capped summits glistening in the early morning light. Every day, as the first rays of the sun break over the horizon, Ravi rises with the dawn. He steps outside, feeling the cool morning air on his skin, and takes a deep breath, inhaling the pure, untainted atmosphere of his surroundings. With a heart full of gratitude, he bows deeply to the earth and sky, offering thanks to the universe for the gift of a new day, a day filled with endless possibilities for growth, self-discovery, and inner peace. This simple ritual is not just a habit for Ravi. It is a profound expression of his connection to the world around him, a reminder of the delicate balance between nature and spirit that sustains his life. Ravi's life is a living testament to the power of simplicity. His days are marked by an unhurried rhythm, free from the distractions and pressures that often plague the modern world. He finds his deepest peace in the quiet, unassuming moments sitting cross-legged on a woven mat, his eyes gently closed, as he meditates for hours. The world around him fades into a harmonious symphony of natural sounds, the whisper of the wind through the pine trees, the soft rustling of leaves, and the distant songs of birds. Surrounded by the grandeur of the mountains and the serenity of nature, Ravi enters a state of deep meditation, where the worries of the world seem to dissolve. In these moments of silence, he connects with something far greater than himself, finding clarity and understanding in the stillness. He knows that true fulfillment isn't found in the accumulation of material wealth or the pursuit of status. Instead, it is discovered in the quiet contentment that comes from within, a contentment that is unshaken by external circumstances. Ravi's humble existence, stripped of unnecessary wants and needs, radiates a profound peace. It is this inner tranquility that naturally draws the villagers to him. They are captivated not by any outward display of wealth or power, but by the calm and wisdom that emanates from his very being. Ravi doesn't seek their attention, nor does he desire it. Yet, the villagers are drawn to him nonetheless, seeking his counsel and presence, for in Ravi, they sense the timeless truths of wisdom and tranquility, truths that are often lost in the clamor of everyday life. One quiet morning, as the village lay bathed in the soft glow of the rising sun, a young man named Raj, newly settled in the village, went out for a walk. The path he chose wound gently through the forest, eventually leading him up the hill where Ravi's humble hut stood. As he walked, Raj couldn't help but notice the tranquility that seemed to envelop the area, a calmness that was both soothing and intriguing. As he neared the top of the hill, Raj caught sight of Ravi, seated cross-legged outside his hut, his eyes closed in deep meditation. There was something about the old man's presence that captivated Raj, an aura of serenity and wisdom that seemed to emanate from within him. The scene before him was unlike anything Raj had ever encountered. In a world filled with noise and distraction, here was a man who seemed completely at peace, entirely content in his simple existence. Raj, feeling a deep yearning within him, approached Ravi with a mixture of curiosity and respect. He had heard whispers in the village about the wise Buddhist who lived alone on the hill, but he had never expected to meet him like this. Gathering his thoughts, Raj spoke, his voice tinged with both hope and desperation. "I've heard about you, the wise Buddhist who lives on the hill," he began. "I'm searching for something, a purpose, a path. I've tried to find it in so many places, but I still feel lost. Can you help me find what I'm looking for?" Ravi opened his eyes and looked at Raj with a gentle, understanding smile. There was no judgment in his gaze, only a deep compassion that seemed to recognize the struggles Raj was going through. Without hesitation, Ravi invited Raj to sit with him, sensing that the young man's heart was burdened with questions and doubts. In that moment, a connection was formed between the two, a connection that would soon lead Raj on a journey of profound spiritual discovery. Ravi welcomes Raj into his modest home with a warm, inviting smile. The interior of the hut is simple yet comforting, with few possessions: a small altar with a candle and a statue of Buddha, a low wooden table, and cushions on the floor. The atmosphere is serene, reflecting the inner peace that Ravi himself embodies. As they sit together, the gentle flicker of the candlelight creates a soothing ambience, and Ravi begins to share his wisdom with the young man. Ravi speaks in a calm and measured tone, his words filled with the depth of experience and understanding. He explains to Raj that true enlightenment cannot be found by chasing after external validation, be it through the approval of others, the accumulation of material wealth, or the relentless pursuit of recognition. These things, Ravi explains, are fleeting and ultimately hollow, offering only temporary satisfaction before leaving a deeper emptiness in their wake. Instead, Ravi tells Raj, enlightenment is something that must be nurtured within. It is found in the quiet spaces of the heart and mind, where true contentment and self-awareness reside. Ravi's words are like a mirror, reflecting back to Raj the truth he had been too preoccupied to see. Raj realizes that his constant seeking of approval from others has only led him further away from the peace and purpose he so desperately desires. The emptiness he feels, Ravi reveals, is not because he lacks something external, but because he has neglected the internal journey, the journey into his own heart and mind, where true fulfillment can be found. As Ravi speaks, Raj feels a profound shift within himself, as if a heavy burden has been lifted. He is deeply moved, not only by the wisdom of Ravi's words but also by the clarity they bring to his own life. For the first time, Raj begins to understand that the answers he has been searching for cannot be found outside of himself. They lie within, waiting to be discovered through introspection, mindfulness, and a genuine connection to his own inner being. Ravi offers to be Raj's guide on this newfound spiritual journey. With patience and care, he begins to teach Raj the practices that have sustained him: meditation, mindfulness, and compassion. They start each day at dawn, sitting together in silence as the world awakens around them. Ravi instructs Raj on how to quiet his mind, to focus on his breath, and to let go of the distractions that cloud his thoughts. Through meditation, Raj learns to tune into the present moment, to observe his thoughts without judgment, and to find stillness within. As the days turn into weeks, and the weeks into months, Raj begins to notice profound changes within himself. The restless anxiety that once plagued him starts to fade, replaced by a deep sense of inner peace. He no longer feels the need to seek approval or validation from others, for he has discovered a wellspring of contentment within his own heart. Through mindfulness, Raj becomes more attuned to the beauty of the present moment, the warmth of the sun on his face, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind, the simple joy of being alive. Compassion, too, becomes a central part of Raj's life. Under Ravi's guidance, he learns that true compassion starts with oneself. By embracing his own imperfections and accepting his flaws, Raj opens his heart to others in a way he never thought possible. Together, Ravi and Raj begin to help the villagers with their struggles, offering guidance, support, and a listening ear. They teach the villagers the same lessons Ravi has imparted to Raj, lessons about the importance of seeking inner enlightenment rather than begging for attention or external validation. As Raj continues to grow in his spiritual practice, he becomes a source of strength and wisdom for the villagers, just as Ravi has been for him. The people of the village notice the transformation in Raj, and they are inspired by his newfound serenity and grace. Through their actions and teachings, Ravi and Raj remind the villagers that true fulfillment comes from within, from a deep connection to one's own heart and mind, and from living a life of mindfulness and compassion. As Raj's transformation deepened, the subtle yet profound change in his demeanor became impossible to ignore. The villagers, who had once seen him as another newcomer trying to find his way, began to notice the calm confidence and inner peace that now radiated from him. His actions, once driven by a need for approval, were now guided by compassion and mindfulness, much like Ravi's. Word of Raj's newfound serenity and the wisdom imparted by Ravi spread quickly through the village. Conversations around evening fires and in market stalls often turned to the mysterious man on the hill whose teachings had the power to transform lives. People began to make their way up the winding path to Ravi's hut, not out of mere curiosity, but with a genuine desire to find the same peace and purpose that Raj had discovered. The ripple effect of Ravi's teachings soon extended beyond the village. Travelers passing through would hear of the wise Buddhist monk who lived in quiet solitude, and many chose to stay longer, seeking his guidance. They came from distant towns, neighboring villages, and even far-off cities, drawn not by any grand promise of enlightenment, but by the quiet testimonials of those who had experienced Ravi's wisdom firsthand. Years passed, but the flow of seekers to Ravi's humble abode never slowed. He continued to live simply, his life unchanged by the attention his teachings garnered. Ravi never sought recognition or fame. His only desire was to share the path of inner peace and enlightenment with those who were genuinely seeking it. His wisdom, like a steady flame, illuminated the hearts and minds of all who came to him, guiding them toward the same inner contentment he had found. Ravi's fame, if it could be called that, was a natural consequence of the transformative power of his teachings, but to him it meant little. He remained devoted to his simple lifestyle, sitting each day in meditation, reflecting on the lessons of the Buddha, and welcoming those who came to him with the same warm smile and open heart. His only goal was to help others discover the peace that resided within themselves, to guide them on their journey toward inner enlightenment, just as he had done for Raj. In the end, Ravi's life became a testament to the idea that true wisdom and happiness do not need to be shouted from the rooftops. They spread quietly, like ripples in a pond, touching lives in ways that are both profound and enduring. As Ravi and Raj continued their humble work, the impact of their teachings began to ripple far beyond the quiet village. Stories of their wisdom and selfless acts of compassion found their way into the hearts of those who visited, and soon these stories traveled further than either of them had ever imagined. Word of the remarkable Buddhist man on the hill and his devoted disciples spread like wildfire, reaching distant towns and even major cities. Journalists, intrigued by the tales of transformation and enlightenment, made the journey to the secluded village. They were eager to capture the essence of this quiet, powerful force of change. Before long, Ravi and Raj found themselves the subjects of newspaper articles and television reports. Their story was told in headlines that spoke of an extraordinary Buddhist monk and a disciple's journey from lost to found. Despite this sudden burst of attention, Ravi remained as grounded as ever. He welcomed the visitors with the same calm demeanor, never allowing the media frenzy to disrupt his way of life. When asked about the fame that had come his way, Ravi would simply smile and gently remind those around him that their actions were not driven by a desire for recognition or praise. Our purpose, Ravi would say, has always been to help others, to share the peace we have found within ourselves. Fame is not something we sought, nor is it something we need. What matters most is that those who seek guidance find the path to inner contentment and peace. Raju, too, embraced this mindset, never allowing the attention to cloud the lessons he had learned from Ravi. Together, they continued their work with the same quiet dedication, offering wisdom and compassion to all who came their way. The attention from the outside world, though unexpected, became a tool for them to reach more people, to spread the timeless teachings of mindfulness, compassion, and inner peace. Even as their names became known far and wide, Ravi and Raj remained true to their core values. They saw the fame as a byproduct of their work, not as a goal. Their lives remained as simple as ever, rooted in the teachings of the Buddha, focused on helping others, and guided by the belief that true happiness and wisdom come from within, not from the recognition of the world. In every interaction, Ravi emphasized that their motivation was never fame, but rather a deep, unwavering commitment to serve others. This humility only endeared them further to those who sought their guidance, reinforcing the lesson that true fulfillment comes not from chasing after the spotlight, but from living a life of purpose, simplicity, and genuine compassion. As the years passed, Ravi's life became a living testament to the profound truths he had always shared with those who sought his guidance. His journey, from a quiet existence on a hill in Nepal to an unintended beacon of wisdom for countless souls, illustrated a timeless message that echoed far beyond the tranquil village. Ravi's story, and that of his disciple Raj, imparted a lesson that resonated deeply with all who encountered it. True wisdom and genuine happiness are not found in the pursuit of attention or the accumulation of material wealth. These external pursuits, Ravi taught, are fleeting and often leave us feeling empty, constantly searching for something more. Instead, he emphasized that real fulfillment is cultivated within, nurtured in the stillness of the mind and the depth of the heart. Living on that serene hill in Nepal, Ravi embodied the essence of a simple, humble life. Each day, he greeted the rising sun with gratitude, embraced the quiet moments of reflection, and extended compassion to all who crossed his path. His life was not one of grand gestures or public acclaim, but rather a continuous practice of mindfulness, kindness, and humility. This way of living, Ravi showed, leads to an inner contentment that is unshakable, a peace that remains steady even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Ravi's presence, his teachings, and his way of life became a beacon for those lost in the noise and chaos of the modern world. He demonstrated that by letting go of the need for external validation, by embracing simplicity, and by focusing on the inner journey, we can all find a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. The allure of fame, wealth, and recognition pales in comparison to the deep, lasting happiness that comes from living in alignment with our true selves. Through Ravi's example, we learned that the true path to fulfillment is not one of seeking more from the outside world, but of cultivating more within ourselves. By nurturing our minds, opening our hearts, and embracing each moment with grace and humility, we can discover a contentment that transcends the temporary pleasures of external success. Ravi's life reminds us that true wisdom is found not in what we achieve, but in who we become as we walk the path of inner enlightenment. In the midst of a fierce winter snowstorm, when the village was blanketed in a thick layer of snow and the cold winds howled mercilessly, Ravi and Raj's unwavering dedication became a beacon of hope. The storm had left many villagers stranded and in dire need of assistance, and the harsh conditions only exacerbated their struggles. It was during this critical time that Ravi and Raj's selfless actions shone brightly, exemplifying their true nature. Despite the escalating media attention and the growing spotlight on their work, Ravi and Raj remained focused solely on their mission to help others. They organized a relief effort with incredible determination, risking their own safety to ensure that every villager received food, shelter, and warmth. They braved the harsh weather, working tirelessly alongside the community to provide support and comfort in their time of need. Their actions during the snowstorm vividly illustrated that their motivations were grounded in a genuine desire to serve and support others, rather than seeking public acclaim. The media coverage, while extensive, was merely a backdrop to the real story, the story of two individuals whose lives were devoted to the well-being of those around them. Their humility remained intact, even as their actions drew significant attention. Ravi and Raj's response to the crisis served as a powerful reminder that true fulfillment and happiness are found not in the pursuit of fame or recognition, but in the act of selfless service. Their unwavering commitment to helping others, even in the face of their own challenges, exemplified the core of their teachings. They demonstrated that real wisdom and inner peace come from nurturing the flames of enlightenment within, rather than seeking external validation. Their story encourages us all to reflect on our own lives and values. It teaches us that the path to true fulfillment lies in leading a life of simplicity, compassion, and inner peace. By focusing on nurturing our own inner contentment and serving others selflessly, we can find a profound sense of purpose and happiness that transcends the fleeting allure of fame and recognition. Ravi and Raj's journey reminds us to cherish the quiet moments of introspection and to embrace the act of giving, showing us that the true measure of a life well lived is found in the love and kindness we extend to others.